Hi, I'm Adam Lapierre, Lidl's Master of Wine. I've been in the wine business for about 20 years. The Master of Wine qualification is considered the most demanding and rigorous wine qualification in the world. There are just over 400 Masters of Wine. It took me about 6 years from the time that I began the Master of Wine program. Examination actually is very rigorous, writing essays about various topics related to the world of wine, including viticulture, winemaking, maturation, quality control, business of wine. There's an extensive tasting requirement, and you have to assess these wines based on what you're tasting in the glass and come to conclusions about them. After passing the timed exams, you get to do a research paper. I spent about 6 months doing a 10,000-word dissertation on sommeliers and restaurants and wine. In order to help Lidl shoppers understand what they're looking at when they're looking at a bottle of wine on the shelf, we've really tried to simplify the information that's available through our price tags in store. So we very clearly note the name of the wine, the score. I taste and rate every wine that ends up on Lidl shelves. So you'll see a numerical score that represents my assessment of the overall quality of the wine. And there's also a flavor scale that ranges from 1 to 4, and that tells shoppers how sweet a wine is. So 1 would be the driest, and 4 would be the sweetest. So depending on your preference, it's easy to navigate our assortment in store. Tasting wine to me is really involves just slowing down and paying attention to the different elements of a wine. First step is really just assessing the look of a wine. Just note if the wine is pale or deeply colored, and take note of the sort of the overall color. And the next step is to smell the wine. And really what you're looking for is distinctive aromatics. What are you smelling? Are you smelling fruit? If you are smelling fruit, what kind of fruit? Is it berries or cherries or some other type of fruit component? Are you smelling earthy notes like soil? Are you smelling mushrooms? Are you smelling tobacco? All these things can be found in a glass of wine. It's pretty amazing. Learning to swirl the wine in the glass is also very useful. Once you get the hang of it, swirling the wine in the glass can be a way to really bring the aromas forward so that you can pick out a bit more as you smell the wines. Then taste the wine. Put the wine in your mouth, move it around a little bit. Just take note of what you're picking up. Notice the acidity. Is it crisp? Is it soft? Notice if there's an astringent quality to the wine. Notice the sweetness. Notice the alcohol, the warmth from the alcohol. And just take all those impressions in as a way to help you come up with an overall picture and an overall impression of the wine in your mouth. Final step is to savor the wine. So after you swallow the wine, just take in the overall impression. Are the different components of the wine in balance overall, or is something really standing out to you? All these can be really useful markers for understanding the overall quality of a wine. The beautiful thing about the world of wine is there is an endless variation of grape varieties, styles, quality levels. It's just a lot of fun, and it's great fun to find different wines that suit different occasions based on your preferences. So for example, if you're just hanging out on a weeknight watching Netflix, for me, a couple wines that I like to go to are the Pinots, Pinot Grigio and Pinot Noir. Pinot Grigio is great because it's just unpretentious, very drinkable, and provides pure pleasure. You don't need to put a lot of thought into it. Pinot Noir can be a great Netflix and chill wine as well. For me, I like to start with the bottle slightly chilled, so put it in the fridge for maybe 30 minutes beforehand. The wine will really evolve in the glass over time. So if you're watching a movie or you're binge watching a series on Netflix, you just come back to that glass time and time again. You'll find different elements of aromas and flavors that really keep it interesting over a long period of time. For a fancy date night, to me, a premium California Chardonnay and Cabernet Sauvignon are kind of the two go-tos. Both provide richness, a lot of complexity, a lot of intensity, and can be just a nice complement to a romantic evening. If you're wanting to impress your in-laws, for me, looking towards Europe is a great place to go. Wines from France in particular, Burgundy or Bordeaux, are really opportunities to show the in-laws you know your stuff and to impress them with the quality of the wines that you select. Check out Lidl's Wine and Cheese magazine to learn more about our high-quality selection, curated by me.